Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, CK here, and welcome back to another episode of Europa Universalis. So, when we last left off, we had declared war on France and started marching. So, as you can see, we have troops heading to Al-Sanan. We have 2,000 going for the war goal of continent. And looking at the fort map mode, we did that because no fort was going to protect continent. And we have forts in Anjou, protecting these surrounding counties, and Chartres, protecting these counties. So, double protected, this one is double protected terrain. So if we wanted to siege that, holding down, we would have to get both forts down. And we actually see Franconia is in a war with France as well. Now, France hasn't called in their allies yet. They will the next day. But France is the attacker against Franconia in the Faranese conquest of Würzburg. So that means that France is send their army somewhere over here, which gives us time to respond. So keep it at speed 2. Our trade fleet is on their way back in support as quickly as possible, so the French Navy doesn't get a hold of it. There is 13 medium ships there. Would probably do some hurt to our 24, and we just took the next military Tech 6, so we have a pretty good bonus here. Tech 5 gave us more supply limit, Tech 5 gave us more cavalry shock, Tech 5 gave us more infantry shock. I mean, it's amazing. Tech 6 gave us the new infantry, so let's go. So we need to be on our horse for sure. We need to be very cautious. And now that their ally Ferrara is in the war, we can see the relative strength of alliance. So we have almost double the cavalry, and we do have more infantry for sure, but we need to take care of them for sure. So we can't afford any stupid attrition. All right, so this 20 stack is going to Al-Sanan. We can sort of break off a little contingent and make a front. If we were to position a good bit of troops over here to sort of block our sieges, that would be okay. Let's go ahead and split off a group of 2 infantry to head up to Normandy. And what are these troops doing here? 7 and 7. They could probably compete a little bit. They may be able to siege down Nantes and Basse-Poitou. So let's do that. Let's send a couple infantry down to... No, we have to take Anjou. All right, so let's take all of our infantry then, or enough infantry to do the siege, and head to Anjou. And we'll leave these troops here as backup. One thing that I'm going to be looking for is on these ships, there will be a hashtag or a pound symbol next to the transports if they are carrying anything. And there is his 20 transports. Let's go ahead and move this guy up to Norfolk. How's the supply limit? 27, 40. So let's move him up to Essex just in case. If we start to see troops disembarking, then we are going to have a bad time unless we can get there first and get them the crossing penalty. We also have to pay a little bit of attention to any ships that are over here in this area. We do have a couple forts to protect us, but we don't want to go overboard. All right, so we're sieging this guy down. It will be ours at the end of the month. Hopefully we'll have enough troops to siege down Anjou. Let's move our cavalry up a little bit. There is the war goal occupied. So we should be able to sweep down to there. And we'll just keep a few 2 stacks around for the carpet sieging and the bulk of our main force together, able to reinforce at a moment's notice is the ultimate goal here. We kind of want this 18 stack to protect these sieges. And we also want a little bit of visibility. So let's move forward and get this 2 stack on main. We do have enough for this siege here. All right, what kind of tech can we take? We're suffering a pretty big institution penalty. Once the institution gets up here into our main land, if France embraces it, it'll spread to the Brittany region, and then we'll be able to get it slowly but surely. But I'm not going to spend my Diplo points until we've capped out at 1208. Still no sign of French forces, though. There's a little battle, Franconia and Thuringia. Now, I don't know exactly where Ferrara is coming from, so over here. So, yeah, everything will be coming from the east. We can basically take our time here, mind our P's and Q's, do some damage. We got a disease outbreak, unfortunately. So we need definitely 6K troops to do that siege. Do I have any spare infantry? I do have 1 spare infantry to send to Anjou. So I'll go ahead and do that to maintain siege status. And we'll see if we can make up any ground on Chartres. So we were caught spying. That's not good. So far, they're not sending any transports our way. Another occupation for us that is outstanding. And we can't move to Basse-Poitou without taking Anjou. So I think these 2,000... Yeah, let's merge them up with the cavalry. We want to keep all of our gold intact. Oh, we can take an idea. Now, this is an administrative idea. We're getting that bad penalty from the tech. I think it wouldn't hurt to get an idea. So that will give us an additional merchant. Then we need 1 more idea after that to get our number of states up and diplomatic annexation costs down. So we'll go ahead and take that additional merchant, and we will see if we can steer trade up to the English Channel. So as you can see, out of the English Channel, we have Ivory Coast, the North Sea pours in here, Lubeck pours in here, and Champagne pours in here. So that's the Champagne node. 0.6 ducats go this way, but a lot is steering south. If we can get some trade power in this node, our merchant might be able to do something. Let's transfer trade power Henry Button and see if we can start steering some more of this money into our trade zone here. So yeah, now we're definitely steering. We might be making some more money that way. They're transferring 0.86 up to the English Channel where we are collecting. All right, so far so good. I don't see... Okay, any transports there? No. There is a big stack. They are heading to Cornwall. We need to get this 30 stack down here ASAP. And since we're not in combat, let's go ahead and put... Oh, geez. Oh, and he's leading the siege, isn't he? He's leading a siege. So what we can do is we can pull off everybody but 1, because the leader will go with that. We'll go to a place that we have occupied. And since this guy doesn't have siege status anyway, it really doesn't matter. We're not going to lose anything from it. All right, there we go. Leader has left, and now we can assign him here, Alfred. They are not locked yet. They are going to get there on the 11th of November, and we are going to get there on the 11th of November. Oof, that's going to be tough. I can't force march them. That would definitely be nice to do to speed them up just a little bit. We do have a tech advantage, and if we can get there by a day, or just like a little bit, I'm not sure how it's going to calculate who arrives first, but we can definitely do the work there. All right, let's move these guys back. These 2,000 can probably loot, since we can't move forward until we get this done. We'll just sort of keep this this ready to go. Okay, everybody is locked. They are indeed going to be there on 11 November. And we're still slated for 11 November. It's going to be interesting. We should have them flanked. We've got 26 and 4. which is an ideal flanking stack. There will be a battle, and hopefully we'll be the defender. The terrain is coastline, so it's improved supply limits, so no malices. It's not like arriving at a mountain or something. Are we going to be the defender? We are the defender, so they take their crossing penalty. We're flanking them hard. We are doing 3.3 morale damage, but they have 105 at discipline, so they're going to stick around a little bit more. But all's well that ends well. I think we're going to be fine here. Terrible shock values, but we are rolling better thanks to his crossing penalty. So there we go. They lost 5,000 plus some cavalry. We didn't lose any cav, and we can chase them down. We're not going to let them go. And the more casualties we can inflict in this stage of the war, the better. We can hit them while they're down. And that is a stack wipe. Outstanding. So let's get to a place where there is high supply limit so we can reinforce. Looks like Somerset is the way to go. Oh, he was still in the battle. There we go. So those transports are going to go with their tail tucked between their legs. Oh, nice wall breach. All right, so we've got 17, 3, and 7. And these 4,000 are moving into Co. We might be able to detach a siege and beat him there. Let's wait until he's locked. Is there a river? Let's see, river crossing comes from Chartres, Normandy. Yeah, so we would get a river crossing if we can't get there first. If we were to detach the siege, that would leave us with 7 and 4, which is enough to flank hard. Yeah, let's wait until he is locked. There. Oh, 11K. All right, so let's hold these troops together. Let's make sure that these infantry can stack up here and get some decent stacks around here. There's a 20 stack. So we're definitely going to need to keep these armies close together. So that's a 5 and 7. I think they would be safer coming down to Anjou. Because they have the numbers advantage. If we don't see their fleet, we might be able to sneak our transports over and pull 15 more. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Spoleto. All right, recall him. All right, you guys come down here. They're trying to overwhelm us here. So we're going to mind our P's and Q's a bit. If we can land at Venetai and sweep up with a bigger army, that would be ideal. We don't want to give up siege status, but we haven't really made any positive siege status just yet. All right. Attach to the transport. You are heading to Continent. So we can head to Armor. All right, so there's 14K that we just delivered and our leader. If they are going to try to relieve this siege, we can try to join up here. We'll see what they want to do. If we can pick off some smaller stacks, that would be ideal. Yeah, let's just stop in Rennes. You are going to Maine. All right, so this 17K can hold on. It looks like the majority of the forces here are around. And they're going to probably... I'm surprised they're not sieging down the war goal a bit. Yeah, let's merge everybody up here. So we have 12 and 12. We could split off a group of 2 infantry. Let's see where this guy's going to go. It's a 2-star leader. So this 9 stack is pouring in. Let's go ahead and reinforce. I wonder where the battle is going to be. Is it Anjou on February 1st? And Anjou 4th. So we will intercept this 14 stack. So this 9 stack is going to run headfirst into the 19. We'll try to reinforce if we can. We've got a lot of red coming in here. Oh, so are we intercepting a 4 stack? So a 13 and a 2. We're defending well. They're pouring everybody in. This army has to retreat. 16 February. I don't know if they can hold on for that long. And France is now blockading. Or they're moving through. 16 February. You guys need to hold out, please. 13, 14, 15. All right, so we broke. And we are going back to friendly territory. It looks like we did win that siege. No French fleet. You're going to Dogger Bank. And they are locked. So I think I can go ahead and sweep on over, pull up this 16 stack, and get them across. All right, so 14,000 more troops. We need to get them to Anjou as soon as possible. We can hold out a little bit thanks to our tech. Yeah, everyone is just piling in. We're going to have to give up our siege. We can retreat, and since we have more... I thought since we had more than 0.5 morale, yeah, we can dictate sort of where we go. And I am turning these guys right around. 10 prestige. Sounds good. So now that we have sort of a death stack going and we're reinforcing in friendly territory, we should be able to make a dent around here. We'll let our morale recover, our manpower recover, and we'll go right at it. So 35K. Let's reinforce up. They don't have enough time to really get any of these sieges done. I'm surprised they're not moving on this 16K, but they may here shortly. So we cannot afford to dilly-dally anymore. There's a good recovery tick. I'm just sort of looking for signs of battle. Why are you guys going that way? I don't know. It's still friendly territory, though. And if we were to pile in, we would have something good, for sure. Yeah, it looks like they're really committing down here. We still have the war goal. This 17K is going to Co. We can rout them, I think. So the movement is blocked by a hostile fort. So we can't even get there with our own guys. All right, let's see if we can. So we need to siege down Anjou. I think it may be worthwhile to hold here with the 41 stack, split it in half, so we don't suffer a whole boatload of attrition, and be ready to reinforce this guy. $19 and $22. All right, so they are committing to the battle. We can reinforce with that 22K as soon as they're committed. Yeah, let's do that. As soon as they're committed, we move. Boom. Let's go. Let's go, boys. We'll be the defender. We'll reinforce with this 22 stack. Morale was taking a hit. We need to do a whole lot better rolls here, guys. We can retreat, and I think we need to. Let's retreat out. It'll be a little bit loss of war score, but we did do a lot of damage, and we got out of there before that 16K came at us. Hopefully we can get some recovery ticks as we move through friendly territory. You need to get out of there, good sir. So it's just an 8 stack with no morale. We might get stack wiped. They have no morale. All right. Shift consolidate. This isn't looking good by any stretch of the imagination. This 22 should be okay. It's just these other stacks that I'm worried about. We can pull 2,000 more troops, and I think it would be worthwhile to get there. All right, 2,000 troops. Get them on the boat. Get them to... No, that is 2 sea tiles. We just want 1 sea tile. 23rd June, 24th June. We can avoid it. All right, so they got dropped off. It doesn't look like these guys are reinforcing them. We might be able to get a recovery tick. Nope. So let's just wait, get a recovery tick. Hold our horses a bit. They're still leaving our siege alone. If this siege falls, then we've got 17K that we can move in. Now, do we go for mercs at this stage to ensure that we do some damage? It might not be a bad idea. So that's province regiments. 58 days. We could be smashed in 58 days. Mercenaries, 43 available, 27 ducats. But it's only a 2-week turnaround? Let's do that. Get 3 extra merc infantry. Now, we'll disband them when the war is over to save some costs, but I feel that the war effort needs it. All right, let's go ahead and assign our leader over here, even though he's a 1-1. Do we roll another general? I think this would be the time to do it. We're ahead on military tech, and we do need a good general. Oh, a 2-5. Francis Howe. You are going to set the tide, good sir. Excellent. So a 2-5 general is going to be amazing. We can wait a little bit for the monthly tick, and then we can move on in. All right, let's get this merc infantry over here. And then that 13 stack is going to move away and try to de-siege some stuff down, which is going to leave this other force wide open for the taking. But at this level of morale, is it worth it to press the issue when that 16 stack can reinforce? I don't believe so. We'll go for a few more monthly ticks here. All right, so that siege has fallen. So do we assign the leader over here and try to snipe the Normandy guy? If it pulls the 16 stack off, we can engage the 8.5. Curiouser and curiouser. I think we do. We'll assign Howe over here to hit this army hard. We'll assign the second leader, Alfred, over here, and then move on this guy before he has a chance to take it. We'll see if we can scare some of these other guys off their sieges. Like that. Now, this 24 stack can go ahead and reinforce. If he can catch up, that would be amazing. But we should be able to do some damage in the meantime. Or do we hit and run? We can retreat on the 21st of August. So we do damage until then. Pull them back. It's losing a little bit of war score, but what that's doing is allowing us to inflict casualties and get some reinforcements in. I'm really nervous about that 26 stack, for sure. All right, we can siege that back down. That's no problem. And I think we need to roll with the entire army. So we need a few monthly ticks. 1 monthly tick to get this guy set. So we'll go ahead and do that. 26K. Hopefully those guys take a lot of attrition during this, that occupation. So we've got 25. We can pull off that 27, I think, if we engage with everybody. So is he going to stack everybody up? Is that his plan? You're going to continent and you are locked. We can get an overrun on this. Snipe that 1 stack. Let's see if we can get around to the 12 stack. That's going to force him to pull off of this siege. We'll get a few more monthly ticks in there. So they've got a 2.9 stack causing havoc. There we go. So they've pulled off the siege. Hopefully we get some good rolls. That was a good shock right there. Let's watch and see how our rolls go. We need to inflict casualties here. If it looks like we're going to lose, come 12 December, we're going to go. But I think we got it. Our shock is pretty good. Yes. Killed 10,000. All right, let's regroup a bit. We could probably take on that 23 stack. Or we could pick off the 5.7. So you're heading to Artisan. That's behind a hostile fort. You're going to Reims. That's behind the hostile fort. So I think what we do is we head back to friendly territory and we get back to sieging this thing down. Now these guys don't have enough troops to really put on a siege. Luckily we built those forts in place. Wait, is this English territory? I believe it is. Province view, please. And it's a 40 supply limit. So we can hold here, reinforce, and then send a couple 2 stacks out here. All right, let's shift consolidate. Get the 0, we'll keep the 0 stacks behind. So really all we need is 2 really good troops to head over to continent. We need 2 really good troops to head to Normandy. And we need 2 really good troops to head to Alcyon. And those were all protected by that fort there. So we can go ahead and siege this down, get the war goal back, and keep this 27 stack here for fighting. It's very handy having a province here that we own, that we can sort of rest out and recover our manpower in. That is for sure. We're still at 53K manpower. And I think I put these guys, these forts, in a place that really made sense. So they're going to have to work on fort. And of course, they're going to start suffering attrition. There's Normandy. Done. Alcyon should fall. Or Alencon should fall. And then the war goal should fall. And then we'll start getting that ticking war score back. All right, we have a diplomat free. Let's see, our war exhaustion is 1.4, France is 2. Or, no, I'm sorry, it's 4 and 3. So we're doing really well on our war exhaustion. We got a ton of claims, and the coalition may form. And we haven't talked about coalitions, but basically, if I take too much land here, all of a sudden, some people might get upset. Now, France is fine. He'll be in his quote-unquote coalition, but we'll have a truce. If anyone else joins, say Ferrara, then he will look for allies to say, hey, that Great Britain, they suck. And if I take all of that, that actually wouldn't be bad. And then we could get a lot of coastline, 58 war score. I think we can do it. All right, so let's get these troops back and see where we can go. That's a level 2 fort. I think we want to work on the west coast here. So let's get our main force here in Chartres, or near Chartres. All right. Nantes, Maine, and Anjou. And then we can send a group of 4. Oh crap, I consolidated. Didn't mean to do that, so we'll be below our force limit. But we'll have 4 strong infantry that we can use to join down there. And we'll keep our main force here. Now, is our leader a siege leader? No. So it doesn't make any sense for him to move forward and do any sieges. How's Alencon? 27k. We can move up here to help protect. All right, so we'll continue to do the work. We have 1 fort, Chartres. We'll have ticking war score. For taking continent, we can gain 22 more war score. And if we just play our cards right, play it safe. Oh, that 29 stack is moving to Touraine. So I'm guessing they want to go. And they are locked. So they're probably going to feel froggy here and engage. So we are going to reinforce everything we got. That 12 stack is going to break off. 19 stack thought differently. And if we can pick him off, that would be pretty good. But we don't have the sheer numbers to do that. So I can wait until they start sieging down Chartres. Because that will be Alencon, Chartres. I don't want to really engage him. That's farmlands. We wouldn't really take a penalty if we engaged him there. But basically what I want to do is really sort of play cat and mouse with these guys. Reinforce, you know, take it slow, pick the battles that we can win. And if they start sieging down Chartres, we would automatically be the defender as they try to siege that down, which would be very handy for us. So they marched on through. That 12 stack is trying to take it. We're going to take mine. Or mine, man. Mon. And that 19 stack is ready to reinforce that 13. Which is interesting indeed. We can hold out here until the siege looks to sway in their favor. And then I think we can make the move. Nantes will fall here soon. So what we're looking at is a 29 stack. Ideally, what we want to do is siege down Anjou. Maybe we can coax him into being the defender. We'll move a few up to Alencon and take this 2 stack up there as well. What's the supply limit? 27. So we might be over the supply limit just a bit. The military leader has left us. All right, so I think that was our first general. We can roll another general here. Maybe get some siege pips. That'd be handy. Let's try it. We got a siege pip. Outstanding. So William Salisbury is a 4-2. This guy is going to be amazing. We'll put him in charge, and we'll get him down here to Anjou, and we will start getting a positive siege status here, thanks to the leader being there. All right, so 8K, no cav, with a siege leader. 28K there, and we're taking attrition. I'll move down to mine. So if these guys feel froggy and want to intercept our fort siege, we can take them. These guys haven't made any progress, and we have made outstanding progress on Anjou. Looking at this, we have our leader siege and 5 siege status. So we've made 5 positive efforts and a wall breach. There's a food shortage. This fort should fall fairly quickly, much quicker than our fort in Chartres. And they haven't reinforced up here to help these guys out. So these guys are just constantly suffering attrition and a manpower loss. I'm definitely not going to pull 2,000 troops down to Cornwall and siege that back. That is not what I am in the mood for. So once we get our main force together and this siege down, we can get Basse-Poitou and then move into Touraine, which only has a 20 supply limit, unfortunately. But if we can try to pick off this little guy from Ferrara, 40,000 troops. I think it is time to recruit. Let's see if we can get some boys on the home front, shall we? Galilei Infantry. And then what we can do is actually recruit up here a respectable force. No, not 71 days. A 5 stack to take care of them? Sounds good. So that'll put us at 50. We could go ham bone on our manpower because we consolidated, which lowered the amount of troops that we have. Or, you know, force limit. So things are looking up, I would say. We're reinforcing from our manpower pool. We still have 41,000 troops available. And we're over the limit there. 37 supply limit there. We'll move on over here. Why not? We don't want to be suffering any other undue attrition. 28%. So the 21 stack is moving down. Byzantium has declared us as a rival, which is kind of crazy. So how's these troops going? Half recruited, half recruited. We'll merge these guys up, smash this 3 stack, get Cornwall back. That'll help our war score. And these guys are starting to make some siege progress. They're at 14, negative 14%. We definitely don't want them to take that fort. The siege of Anjou is over, and not a minute too soon. All right, let's get everybody up here to Alencon. We'll take some attrition, but that is fine. We need to get these troops ready as well. We need to join them up and put our best leader forward because we do not want them to take that fort and we want to get the defensive bonus. Time is of the essence, boys. Hopefully we can hold out just a little bit longer. 21%. We need to really move. Come on. $40K. That's about it. Our best leader, Francis Howe, the 2-5, or the 4-2. I think Shock would be better at this stage, and let's go relieve this siege. We'll be the defender, so we will get the defender bonus. The rest of these boys are going to have to pile in or hang this guy out to dry. Now, if we can break this siege, all the better. So we need some good rolls here. Great shock roll. We need some very good dice rolls here. 9 and 3 in the shock. That is what I'm talking about. That is our leader doing the work right there. That is for sure. All right, so a spirited battle has commenced. We are good. They are turning their tails and running. They're at medium enthusiasm for the war. Ferrara is still on high. Will they agree to our demands? Not yet. We will be making progress, though. The longer we can hold the war goal, the longer we can hold these forts, the better. But I think that's going to do it for me in this episode of Europa Universalis, ladies and gentlemen. So, things are looking up. We've got France on the run. We can see if we can overrun this guy real quick, fast, and in a hurry. That'll be a quick overrun for Ferrara. And he'll lose his cavalry. Instantaneously stack wipe. All right, so now we can merge all of these guys up here. Engage that siege and relieve it. We'll be the defender. And then we'll be able to take Cornwall. As far as this goes, we can break off, shift consolidate, and break off. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We'll just merge them all up and send these two guys down here to Bas-Poitou. Send these two guys to Touraine. Move up to the fort. And then we can start pressing forward just a little bit. All right, let's get there and see what we need to do for Paris. Now, Paris is protecting another fort and all of this land here. I think we can actually, once we are locked, or I'll take one of the contingents. The guy from Touraine, I think will be able to come down to Berry. Yeah, Berry is not protected, so we could take Orléans and Berry. And yeah, things are looking good. But that's going to do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next Europa Universalis video. Take care.